don't scroll by thinking this is the same as all those other videos of this massive classic car auction barn find. This is going to be different. We've got a list of every single car. We've done the research on them. We've found out as many as we can when they were off the road. We're going to tell you also what all these cars sold for, so that's going to pop up at the bottom of your screen. So join us for a real whistle-stop tour. We're going to try and make this as quick as possible. But first, we're going to try and catch Finley, who is the auctioneer, for a quick chat before he kicks things off. Right, we're really lucky that Finley from FM Hutchings Auctioneers has agreed to have a quick chat with us just before we take a wander around all these cars. So thank you, Finley, for taking the time out, which I'm sure is a really busy day.
Not a problem at all.
Scale-wise, is this one of the biggest sort of car auctions you've ever done?
Yes, it's definitely the biggest car auction we've done. I mean, we've done sales of, more lots of about 1700 lots, but this is as far as car collections all in one place, all at one time are concerned. This is definitely, the biggest we've done, and also I think the biggest left in the country, really. So.
And preparation-wise, what did you start with, and how does it compare to what you've got now?
We started pretty much here with lot one, and we just kept pulling them out. Some of these cars have been outside, some of them were in the sheds. So there's a bit of it. We tried just to mix it up a little bit. So, they were literally just pulled from wherever they were, brought into the line, and it just went all the way down the field, all the way round, and ended where we stopped pulling cars out. So.
And ever since you announced this auction, I can remember, I think back in April.
Yes, I think it was April the 25th or something like that. It's
It unleashed the Facebook experts to tell you how to run your business, and they're all saying, you've got it wrong, you need to do it online. Why is there not a big colour brochure online? Why have you not got online bidding? Give us the background.
I mean, for us, we're not the biggest. We're certainly not the best. I'm not going to try and boast about us, but I done it. The biggest thing for us is we've done a lot of sales ourselves. We've been to a lot of sales, before we even had our own auction, and I always hated to be sat in the field and it was either pissing it down with rain or so on and so forth, where you're sat freezing and there's someone sat at home nice and warm bidding on stuff that they haven't come and looked at. And I think for me it was the fairest way, and when we agreed with the vendor that we thought it was the fairest way that people can come and see what they're looking at. There's no illusions that everything's perfect, because if you do look on Facebook, some people, it's a load of scrap, it's a load of this, it's a load of that, and it's a case of I like to sleep at night knowing I've done as best of a job as I can, and people have had a fair deal. They haven't seen something that looks immaculate turned up, and by the time they've loaded it on a trailer, it's fell in half. So it's as fair as I can be, I find. So
yeah, you're not bursting a bubble that someone's seen it on a picture of it and decided it's great. They can come see it, feel it, touch it, and it's great. That's brilliant. Thank you. I know you want to get on. You've got a really busy day. Is there any chance at the end of the day, when all the dust is settled, maybe we can have a quick chat with you at the end of the day? That would be great.
That's not a problem at all.
And then have a bit of a breather.
Have a bit of a breather. Yeah. That's not a problem at all.
Thanks, Finley. It's great.
No worries. Thank you very much.
Right, here goes. This is going to be fast and furious, so strap in, it's going to be fun. Right, lot one, we have got a Ford Escort G-Reg, so what's that, 1989. This one's actually been off the road since 2014, 11 years. It looks like someone's tried to do a bit of a fast and the furious look at the front. Seats are gone, don't know, you'll see how much it's gone for already. Now, next one up, this Toyota camper van, lot two, that has been off the road since 2018. It's got all the camper gear inside it still. The inside doesn't look too bad. The door is really, really rotten, so I'm not sure that one's going to survive. Next one up, a nice old Saab here, Saab 96. It's a little bit threadbare around the edges. Now, I just want to cover something here. I've looked up all these cars on DVLA, and for a lot of them like this, it hasn't had an MOT since 2005, so we've got no history on it that side, and it's sawn, so we've got no idea when it's last taxed. So ones like that, I'm not going to mention how long they've been off because I've got no idea. There you go. You could take home your purchases with this Isuzu car transporter. This one's not been off the road too long. That's been off since 2020. Lot 5, no idea. Blue thing. Move on. Now, this is one of, I think, 19 Peugeot 205s that are here. And if you've got a Peugeot 205 bingo card for special editions, you need to get it out. because this is a Mardi Gras 205, and this one has been off the road since 2018 was its last MOT. So doesn't look too bad. I think they're actually rally wheels on there, and I think they're quite valuable. So someone may punt on that one. Bit unusual. Mazda 3, that's a bit new for us. It's been off the road 4 years, 55 plate, so someone may resurrect it. Now, another Mardi Gras, so same as the previous one, but this is a 5-door model of the 205. That one has been off the road since 2015. Be interesting to see what that goes for. Now, I think we're going to have to swing round over this way, because we have got to go to this one here, which is the M-Reg. Notice that someone's done a nice job, looks like with possibly insulating tape, of making it look like a rally. 3-door shell. These are obviously always popular with the rally boys, and it's got the 1.6 GTI wheels on it as well. So that one, it's been off the road since 2015. All these 205s seem to have been off the road around that sort of time. And then next to it, wow, big Citroen BX. We did one of these a little while ago, flipping bangers. One of these has been through the hands of number 27. It's also been through, or currently owned by JM on Cars. This one off the road since 2018. Seems to have been a French thing going on here around that kind of period. Now, next one, this is a really nice car. It sounds like a bit of a sexually transmitted disease. It's an STDT, so it's a turbo diesel. It's one of the later model 205s. It's got nice alloy wheels on it, nice paint job. The interior actually is from a GTI, but it's been done with slightly different material. So what we're going to have to swoop round again, Jason, behind you. Lovely old, well, it was lovely once, old Rover P6. This one's obviously a bit tired. There's sort of, I can put my finger through a hole in the door down here. Some bits recoverable. The interior might be. Interior doesn't look too bad. The vinyl roof has left, but you know, panels like the bonnet and that, you might be surprised. That one has been off the road an awful long time. BMW, a bit modern for us really, I'm afraid. That's been off the road about 6 years. So we'll skip the trailer and that. And where are we going to go next? Caddy pickup. Now this is going to be popular, isn't it? People love these. The VW boys think these are something else, don't they? So this one has been off the road at least 20 years. Nice looking alloy wheels on it. Has it got a tailgate? Is the tailgate gone? Missing the tailgate. That's going to be a bit of a, I can see that's going to be a bit of a problem, a bit of a hole in the bed there, but otherwise I think this one is going to be popular. Right, back over the other side, Jake. Well, let's bounce along these. Another 205, not sure if it's a, no, I don't know if that one's a special edition or not, but we'll bounce along these fairly quick, because the, yeah, one 205 is much another. 205 style, was that a special edition or just a model? I don't know. But, and then this one I'm pretty sure was a special edition, was the Zest, which is lot 19, which is this one here. That is another 205 really. It's not anything I'm going to get too excited about. And then the next one here, the 205 Junior, which I think was their entry level. This one, let's have a look. This one's been off the road since 2014. So again, that's that mid-teenies era where they seem to be buying an awful lot of these. Looks like the back seats are gone. There's going to be usable parts in there. If you know, if you want to start a Peugeot 205 parts business. Now, next along, this is the only Mondeo in the whole place. It's got the Zetec engine in it, which could be worth a few quid, because a few years ago you could pick them up for £100 all day, but now they're a bit more money. And it's an estate. Off the road since 2017, 8 years. Yeah, you should probably see it's come off because there's rust there, the seal's gone. So yeah, I think that's pretty much a parts car. Now this one, this is one of the older ones. Nice Webasto sunroof there. But this one has been off the road since 1995. And yeah, there ain't much left there to recover, is there? Let's have a peek in, oh dear. Door cards are gone, seats are knackered. Yeah, you see, I don't know, where's the value in that? You've got some trim bits, chrome trims on the door and around the windows and the glass, but I'm not convinced, if I'm honest, there's massive value in there, but hey, who knows? Right, let's wander up the top here. Isuzu Bighorn. So, with that mirror on there, I imagine that's one of these Japanese imports. This one's been off road 11 years. I don't know, people love these things and they seem to be fairly indestructible, don't they? So, I reckon that will go for fair money. And then we hit the first of our Land Rovers, which has an interesting number plate that you could possibly make something else of. But there's a lot of Land Rovers here, and I know the guys with Land Rovers do tend to be fairly committed to their cause. And then behind it we've got, sorry to swing you around, Jay, we've got this Renault, sorry, Vauxhall, they all the same, don't they? Vauxhall, is that a minibus, I think? That one's been off-road about 9 years. And then, oh, Mitsubishi Pajero, these things are generally fairly indestructible, aren't they? This one doesn't look in bad condition, does it? Depends what the chassis is like underneath though, doesn't it? But that one's been off the road about 15 years. And then Peugeot parked the van. I think something detrimental's happened there with the rear suspension. So yeah, I think that's a parts van, isn't it? And then you want a bit of Americana. We've got lot 28 here, Cadillac Eldorado. Yeah, really not my kind of thing. I know some people love this. It doesn't look, the body actually, under all the gunk. Ah, okay. Maybe the bonnet's had seen better days, but overall it doesn't. Oh yeah, maybe it does. Look, yeah, not a good look. Not a good look, is it? That's lot 28. Yeah, it's been off the road at least 20 years. So right, that's the first field. We'll slip through into the next one. Right, into the next field. Here we go. Straight away, lot 29 LT50 car transporter. Yeah, bit tired, isn't it? On the back is lot 30, the Audi 100 Coupe. Now, yeah, hasn't even got a reg plate for that one, and yeah, whoa, there's just holes everywhere, and I haven't had a tetanus jab, so I'm not going too close to that one. But it's got bits like lights on it and glass, and you know, if you've got an Audi 100 Coupe, you're going to be wanting to look for those kind of bits, aren't you? And then we've got a Sierra diesel, early diesel, 2.3 litre. Again, assuming it's got the Type 9 gearbox and the rear axle, those parts are worth good money now. Rally cars and kit car boys, you know, Type 9 gearboxes are difficult to come by, so there could be a few quid in that one. Oh, Citroen, another BX. This is a TZD Turbo. And this one has been off-road at least 20 years. Yeah, it's got, interestingly, it's got Peugeot 205 GTI wheels on it. So, well, I suppose the French all fits, doesn't it? So, that one actually doesn't look too bad, but they do have a habit of rotting, don't they? Then we've got a Renault B110 van. That looks fairly manky, doesn't it? It just really doesn't. I'm just having a look round. Jason's wandering around back. Yeah, you saw that wheel arch there. There's a big chunks of it missing. So let's move on. So we'll crack on, I think, through these, because there's quite a few commercials here. So there's obviously a Mercedes Sprinter there. Another Mercedes Sprinter. That one doesn't look too bad. 04. Yeah, well, what's that one? Those have been off the road, well, only 5 or 6 years, so they're not too bad. And then Ford Transit there. Transit tipper, that's been off 6 years. And then you've got the XJS. This one I found is a Cat B, so this one can't go back on the road. And to be honest with you, the condition of it, it's probably not going to go back on the road. It's probably come off the road because of the, or got insurance categorised because of the damage at the back. But that one's a no-go on the road. But you know, lots of parts, lots of trim, glass, you know. And behind you, sorry Jason, it's right behind you, it's the other way. Mitsubishi flatbed, but not really our kind of thing. But That one's been there for 4 years. Right, what we got next? Mercedes Sprinter. 08 plate, that's one of the more modern ones here. That one has actually been here only 6 years, 2019 that's been here, so that's in quite good condition. You can almost see that on a set of clone plates, and a bit of a wash, be doing fly tipping next week. I'm probably not allowed to say that, am I? But there we go, let's carry on. And then we've got a Rolls Royce. Again, this is a Cat B, so can't go back on the road. Someone unfortunately nicked the Spirit of Ecstasy. Oh dear, that is tired, isn't it? It's yeah, the suspension at the back has collapsed. It's all a bit green and horrible. But again, there's hubcaps, there's lights, there's trim, there's glass, there's probably bits of the interior and under the bonnet that are valuable to somebody. So what we got next? Ford Escort. Oh, I did like a Ford Escort. Prefer the Mark III, but this is a Mark IV. This looks a bit agricultural. Some reason the registration number, which you'll notice has now been taken off, is not on DVLA. So that one is literally going to be parts only because it's got no identity. So we'll skip by another commercial, which is this Renault Master, which, as you can see, is parts only, but it's all gone a bit Jumanji on the inside. Yeah, it does remind me I need a tetanus jab. Porsche 944. Again, this is a Cat B, so it can't be on the road. But of course, you can see it's probably had a bit of a fire there, isn't it? So that one, yeah, it's got the wheels on it. It's got all the interior, the back bits, tailgates. So yeah, there's going to be a few quid there for somebody, isn't there? And then we've got this XJS, which, again, the problem is it'd be lovely to think someone's going to restore it, but realistically, the amount of money to put that back on the road, you could buy a nice one for probably half of it. So I can't see anybody doing that. Oh, first, we've got quite a few Saabs actually. This is a Saab 900. This one's been off the road since 2007. So what's that, 18 years? Obviously the bonnet has gone AWOL in the front end, so, and the wheels. So yeah, most of the good stuff has already gone. And then there's a XJ6 next to it, which has obviously had a little bit of an impact with something on the front corner there, and that's been here quite some time as well. And then the next one's this sort of coach-built ambulance. Is a BMC JU250 apparently, and that was last taxed in 1996. So that's been here what, nearly 30 years. So yeah, that's a bit tired. And then what have we got? We've got this DAF 44 now. DAF, obviously, people know it probably from the trucks. They were a car manufacturer. Eventually got taken over by Volvo, so things like the 340 and that were built in their factory. But this is the car they built before. And interesting with this is that it's got a CVT type gearbox, so it's got either forward and back, and there's no clutch. You just press the go pedal and off you go, and it's just effectively one gear. Then we got LDV Convoy. I still call them Sherpas because it is a bloody Sherpa underneath, really, isn't it? But yeah, that's a commercial. We're not really interested in that, but we'll put the price on the screen for you anyway. What do we got next? Okay, okay. Well, it's probably worth its weight in scrap, that one. That's lot 50. No registration plate for that one. But yeah, nice aluminium tipper body for somebody. This one is another LT50, funnily enough. That one's been off the road quite some time. Sorry, it's not an LT50, is it? Sorry, I'm being a wally. Sorry, I was looking at my pad, not looking at it. So this must be the Ford Transit coming up, which is, here we go. Sorry, I had to skip down, but that's been off the road since 2010. 2010. Now, look at this, Mercedes S500. This has got V12 engine in it. The interior is glorious, full leather, all the whistles and bells. Only problem with this one is someone has had the plate off it, because the plate is now on a 2019 white Toyota. So if you fancied M4 LXK, it's not available. And unfortunately, again, this is the problem that people apparently have been coming in here and ripping stuff off. So Peugeot 306. Now this is the only one I have seen of the 306 family, and I'm just trying to find it because there we go. It's a D Turbo. I always thought that was a nice shape of car. And then we've got an XK8. Sorry, the 306's been off road since 2012. This XK8's been off road since 2010. I always think it's a nice car, but you know, the down the hill ones of these are just not big money, are they? You know, and imagine how much you've got to invest in that, and there's some kind of organic effort going on in the headlamp there. So we'll skip this yellow bit of metal. Then we've got a Golf GTI. Now this one was last taxed back in 2007, so it's been here 18 years, but it's got those nice Pirelli alloys on it. It looks fairly intact engine wise. That sill edge is not too bad. That other side is fairly lacy. Arch isn't too bad. I reckon this one is savable. Most of the interior looks there. It smells a bit, I think it's been a bit moist in there. So XK8, next one up. This one's been here since 2012, so 13 years, and I think it's been in the hedge somewhere at some point because there seems to be quite a lot of brambles coming out. So now, if you want something to tow your purchase home, there's a little dolly there, so that could be a little bit of a bargain. Now, Polo C bread van. Wow, this actually doesn't look in too bad a condition, and we know the VW boys love these, don't they? These are a really nice look. They've even got a tow bar on the back. So I reckon there'll be an interest in this one because I think this is the only one here, and I think they'll love that one. Right, we're going to have to flip over the other side and go. We're going to go up this side. Right, let's have a look. We have got a Mitsubishi Canter commercial, not really our thing. Should be a Peugeot 205 style. Ah, sorry. Cutting you across again. Looks like the Mitsubishi Canter was moved from in the middle there. So yeah, another Peugeot. Not sure what number we're on to. Peugeot 205 style, if you got that on your bingo card. Got a Tour de Yorkshire 2015 sticker on the side there, which ties in because it came off the road in 2016. Front seats look pretty good. If you need an interior, dashboard bits, lights, you know, trim, glass, it's all there, isn't it? So next one up is this Land Rover across the way. Got no registration number for it at all, but I'm sure the Land Rover guys can work a solution to that one. That looks relatively intact actually compared to some of the ones you're going to see in a minute. Then we've got what's that? Volkswagen Golf Mark III GTI. So that will, I think, generate a bit of interest, and that actually looks quite solid, doesn't it? But of course, look at the bottom screen, you'll see what it went for. And then we've got the Land Rover Series 1. Look with that really nice plate on it. 1955 this came from. But people always say, look at the bulkhead. Bulkhead's not good. Bulkhead is not good. It's a bit thin. That's been off the road at least 20 years. Now, I always think these things, these Mitsubishi Delicas, is it Delicia? How do you say it? You know, four-wheel drive, big chunky tyres, high stance. You know, you can sleep in the back. It's like an Armageddon vehicle, isn't it? You know, when Putin and Trump fall out with each other, we're all going to run out and buy one of these, I reckon. Now, next up, that Delica had been off the road since 2014, so it's not too bad. And another one that's been off the road since 2014. When did you last see a Ford Cougar? Now, obviously these were made more for the American market, but this one looks remarkably tidy. Problem is, being realistic, most of these cars have been parked up for one reason or another, and possibly that one has got problems that we're not aware of or not easily visual. How the mighty have fallen. Rolls Royce. It's Y reg, so what's that, 82. But yeah, it's already had some parts robbed of it. Someone's had the Spirit of Ecstasy, and down the back here, something quite horrible and detrimental has happened to it, shall we say. So again, that was been off the road at least 20 years. And then next to it, see, Ford camper vans, or camper vans in general, generally have really good money to them, don't they? But when it's all gone a bit frilly and horrible, inside wise, there might be some salvageable bits. If you've got a project that you want to do, make something in the camper van, Now a couple of these MGB GTs, this white one here has been off the road since 89 and the grey one has been off the road since 88, so what's that, the best part of 40 years, and yeah, it looks it. Can't imagine there's much there that's actually savable, but right, we're gonna have to, let's have a quick look what we got. There's a boat for sale over the back, but really not my kind of thing. I don't get on with boats. Boats and tractors I've had a bad run with recently. We've got a red 205. If you've got a 205 auto 5-door on your bingo card, you can tick it now, because that's one. Now this one, you've got to come this side, Jason, because this is brilliant. Sport car, really great. If you want a bit of fun, look up the sport car band adverts on YouTube. They're brilliant, they're hilarious. But can you see which bit's not plastic? And the other thing, I thought these all had leather interiors, but this one doesn't appear to have done. And this one has been here since 2016, so 9 years. But let's be honest, they rotted on the tarmac driveway, so stuck in a field, they're not going to do that well, are they? Right, let's flip over. We're into a couple of Land Rovers now. And there's a few down here that I think people get excited about. This one says it's a Series 2, so I assume that's with the headlamp still in there. Again, the thing with these is, what's the chassis like? And I don't, it looks reasonably intact, and I'm sure somebody, old Land Rovers, I don't think ever die, do they? And then next to it, this says this is a Series 3, but slightly strangely, it's on an older plate, so whether there's a bit of rebody been going on there or not, I don't know, but something, because obviously the headlamps are in the outer wings there, so yeah, and the bulk, you can see the bulkheads going because the door no longer fits the hole, shall we say. And then people love the caddy. This is more like is that the Seat front end? People love these. This one's been off the road 12 years. Yeah, it's a bit tatty, isn't it? I don't quite sure what's gone on down here. It looks like someone's trying to get into the fuel tank with a pair of side cutters down there. Yeah, there's an awful lot going on down there, isn't there? Yeah, bit more Jumanji going on with this one, really. That Ford Transit there, that's only been there since 2011, but let's be honest, Ford Transits weren't that, avoidable of rust when in daily use, so stuck out somewhere damp, it's even worse. Right, then we've got 87, which is this Polo. This has been here 15 years. Yeah, see, look, the seal's going all sorts of places. Ooh, I'm not going to kick that any harder because I think it will drop off. I said there's a lot of Land Rovers, there's only one Freelander, and this is the only Freelander in the place. It is a V6, so I think that's a more sought after one. How long's it been? It's 2014 this was last MOT'd. Doesn't look too bad actually, does it? So, but they were a monocoque, so you could have a bit of a rust issue, but that, on the face of it, doesn't look too bad, so somebody might love it. What we got on our 205 bingo card here, have you got rusty A-pillar on your bingo card? Because you need it, because there's a big hole in the top there. And, oh no, someone's ripped off the badge, so we've got no idea. But again, 3-door shell, factory sunroof, someone's going to want the bits for that probably, aren't they? So, now this one, when we peek under there, it's got a Rover V8 in it, this Land Rover, lot 90. So someone's going to, Rover V8 engines aren't that common anymore. They were all over the place a few years ago. And then, trying to remember, is this tobacco? I can never remember the colour. I'm sure someone will correct me in the comments. But again, a good middle of the road MGB GT is what, 4 or 5 grand? You're going to sink 2 or 3 times that to make that better, aren't you? So, and this caddy, this one looks a bit better than the other one, maybe. Well, at least no one's cut a big hole in it, but it is not, yeah. It's going a bit frilly around the edges. That's been parked up since 2014. But again, there might be panels and bits of panels that people want, rear doors. Those doors look all right. Oh, how mighty you're falling. There's a Saab here. Interesting, there's a spare boot in the back there. I think these were Ford V4, I think. Oh, bonnet sounds okay. That one's been there quite some time. Now, can I surprise you? This one's a Cat B. It can't go back on the road. And if Jason pans round, you'll see that the chassis gone. I think the chassis are identifying as a one of those Nissan 4x4s that snaps in half. Nirvana is. So, and that one last taxed in 2002. So it's been there 23 years. But yeah, it's definitely a B, that one, isn't it? Lot 95. We're on a Citroen Xantia estate. One of my first sort of what I probably imagine was decent company cars. This wasn't an estate. But I always remember we all had them because it was air conditioning was on these. But the only problem was the air conditioning sucked so much out of the engine, you had to turn it off before you sort of overtook anyone. But hey, it was fun. We didn't care about that. We had a Xantia. Now, this is a Ford Courier. I know it says Combi up there, but I think that's this sort of accessory to allow, I believe this is like a wheelchair vehicle. But if it was saleable, well, it made a great little camper van, you've already got sliding windows on the side, but again, Fiestas we know can have their moment of rotting, can't they? So, and if you want to top up your 205 style bingo card, we've got another one here in white. This one doesn't look too bad. Again, 2012. This has been parked up since. Oh, sorry, the Courier, if anyone's interested, that one's been there since 2009. So, right, now we're on to the avenue of a few Saabs. So, there's a Saab 9.3 there. Got a personalised plate. This one's been here 11 years. Doesn't look too bad, does it? I've got more leaves on my Corsa from parking it under the tree in the drive. But hey, be interested to see what that one's gone for. It'll obviously be below you. Now, I think the battle of most rotten, I think in the top three has probably got to be this Metro. It's from, it's an H race, so what's 89, 90. Yeah. I've got the interest on this side, we've got like an easy detachable sill, which is sort of opened out, which is a bit of an interesting feature, which I haven't seen before. And it appears to be missing a back axle, so that's not going to be too good. Another 9.3 Saab. Looks fairly intact, doesn't it? Sill looks like it's been replaced, painted black. This one's been off the road since 2008. Oh, interesting, sorry, I just noticed that white Metro back there, that was last on the road 2003. And it's disintegrated that much in 22 years. Amazing. Oh, Saab convertible. Again, bit of a private plate going on there. This one's actually in 97. It's a 900 SE. This was last on the road 2011. I reckon these all go for fair money because, Saabs aren't built anymore and, where do you get the parts from? So, or, hopefully they'll go back on the road. And that's one thing I like to say is if you are one of the people who've bought something from here and you get it back on the road, please let us know. We'd love to hear the stories of these being resuscitated rather than decimated, if you know what I mean. So, good old fun car. Poor person's Capri nowadays. Reliance skin at the GTE. That'd be a 77, I guess. It looks like it's been here a while. Got the original bits on it. It's got those Wolf Race wheels. I never did like the button back interior, and yet it's still got it. But again, I'm sure there's some sell bits. The other thing with these is people are, because the chassis, the body can be taken off the chassis, they are using them for body swaps. So you can turn it into a Cobra or a Ferrari replica or something. Oh, I did like my SLK. It was going really well until the MOT tester said, please don't bring it back next year. And I went, okay. But I think this is in the 200 because of the wheels. It's been here since 2010. Yeah, somebody's had the badge. And apparently that's one of the reasons this sale has come apart. There's been challenges with the local council apparently. And also urban explorers have been coming in and then people have been trampling over the cars and taking badges off. So he's decided to get rid. But yeah, this one, there's going to be a few bits on there, isn't there? And another one in our Saab. This is a Saab 9.3, S, what's that, but 97-ish. That's been off-road since 2011, so 14 years. Doesn't look it, they seem quite hardy, don't they? Well, I suppose it's made for Norwegian or Scandinavian, so they're going to make them fairly durable. We'll wander through these commercials. There's obviously transit there. We'll put the numbers that they achieved on the bottom. There's Renault T35. Oh, here we go, another 205. Hope you're keeping count. Let's see if there's a any sort of badge on the back. No, it's got one of the later tailgates though, so someone's had a side repeater out of it already. It's lost its eyes, but hey, there's going to be lots of usable parts of that. I think 205s were galvanised. I can't remember, but or some form of galvanisation, so that's why they should be a bit more durable. Obviously mechanicals will go. I've just lost my place. There we go. That is a Nissan Interstar, apparently. There we go. Right, this is down as a Bedford CF, but I believe it's a CA. Again, this is one with a bit of a Jumanji interior. I think didn't they use one of these in the Italian job? Possibly. Looks like it's already had a bit of arch. Ugh, I think I need a tetanus jab. Yeah, there's probably got to be some bits on there that are usable, surely. The doors don't actually look too bad. Do we know how long it's been here? Yeah, actually we do. 2008 that has been there. So there's got to be some usable bits in there somewhere, surely. Can someone put that back on the road? Maybe. If you do, please let us know. As you can see, it is getting quite busy. When we got here in the car park this morning at stupid o'clock, we were like the first car to park up, and now it's rows and rows. Now, following my dabble with tractors with Clarkson and these Lamborghini, I tend to avoid them, but a friend of mine said, this is worth a few quid. Well, I'm going to bow to his superior knowledge. He reckons these up and running worth about 4 grand. Yeah, apparently it's a Ford 333 tractor, it's lot 110, so you'll see at the bottom whether it was worth anything or not. We'll go over these bits. Apparently this is a Cadillac engine. I wouldn't have been able to tell you that, so I assume that's the front end of a Cadillac. I don't know how much it's worth. Well, you could put a rope around it and chuck it over the side of a boat as an anchor, couldn't you, if nothing else? Daimler Sovereign. I always tell the difference between a Daimler and a Jaguar, because this has got the waterfall grille on the front. It obviously hasn't got the leaping cat of the Jaguar. That one's 4.2. Yeah. A-post, I think it's definitely gone. That is rot as a rot thing, and it's been here at least 20 years. And then of course the other side we've got the Jaguar, which has got the cat on the front. This is the XJ40. Again, this one's been here, well, it's an 89 car, it's been here over 20 years. See, the corner of the bonnet's gone, which I know is not massive, but it gives you an indication to what the rest of it's probably like. Oh, wow. Citroen CX 2.5 diesel. Well, the estate's called Safaris or something like that, can't remember. It's a bit frilly. Bit frilly. I'm trying to sell it.
Frilly around the edges.
Look the other side. Yeah, so
You'll sell it like that, mate.
Yeah. I mean, the other side's all right. Oh no. Yeah, the other side's not so good, is it? Makes changing the wheel easier. You've got to look at the upside. Right, I like these. MG Maestro back in the day, and how many are left? You know, and you got to think parts wise. This came off the road in 2000. Interestingly, sorry, I've skipped it on the Citroen. I was so obsessed by the arches. Citroen came off the road in 98, so that's what 27 years in the field does for you. MG Maestro 69, but things like probably the grills, the bumpers, the glass, the interior doesn't look too bad. I had a quick peek. You know, bits of the body kit, the rear spoiler and stuff like that, they're just not available. So some of these I reckon somebody will part with a few quid for that one. Now we've got a few moggy miners out here, and most of them are absolutely shagged. They are absolutely rotten. Like this one. Not much to say. No idea when it came off road. That's lot 117. I just don't think these are going to go for much money at all. Where are your parts in it? And we've got 2 or 3 more. Rover P4 100. This hasn't even got a plate to it, and we can see that the doors no longer fit the hole, so something gone wrong here. 205 CTI 1.6. I had a CJ, had great fun with it. The only thing is, I've never known a car to suffer with so much scuttle shake. I thought the rear view mirror was loose, and I discovered it was the whole window frame flapping around. So, needs a new roof. Interior, might be recoverable. Again, I think these were galvanised. I think so. It might be more solid than you actually realise. But if you had CTI on your 205 bingo card, you can tick that one off. Yeah. I think that came off the road in '89 because that's when the tax disc says on the yeah. Well, it came off the road in '90. So yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. Moving on. Be interested to see what it went for, but I can't imagine an awful lot. Daimler Sovereign. Is it a Sovereign? Oh, okay. Daimler Sovereign. Yeah, because these are the same. Isn't this the same shape as a 420 Jag? Possibly. Don't know. Now, somebody's going to fall in love with this for what's on the underside because it'll have the Type 9 gearbox and the rear axle on these Sierras. You're really sort of no idea when it came off the road, but yeah. Will that be restored? You see, people just ripping stuff off. It's just crazy, isn't it? Really, you know, just respect stuff. But yeah, whenever it came off the road was quite a while ago because the tyres are fairly self-destructed. Not a Morris Minor. This one came off the road in '89, so nearly 40 years ago. Well, to be fair, if I'd laid in a field for 40 years ago, I don't think I would look that good. Fiesta. I think this is the only Fiesta here. There is quite a big hole in the sill. We don't want to go there. It came off the road 2007, so it's been here 18 years. I've seen worse. My wife had one of these and the boot floor fell out. Oh, okay. Boot floor doesn't look too bad, so okay. Bit of a dink there, that'll come out. Needs the bonnet. Yeah, might be savable, you never know. Right, up to the top of the page. Ford Transit. Yeah, I think I can see the problem with this one. I don't think it's not a runner. Oh, and did you have 205 Mardi Gras on your bingo card? Because we've now got a 205 Mardi Gras. This one came off the road in 2014. Actually, the interior looks remarkably good. Really, most of these 205s, I've got to say, they look pretty durable. That way. What? That way? Right, we come down to the last row of cars out in the field here. Ford Sierra 2.3 diesel. Probably got the Type 9 gearbox and the rear axle, but look at the inside. This is amazing. It is absolutely full of brambles. But if it's anything like the Sierra I took apart for my kit car, it's rotten as a pear. Yeah, and yeah, that MGB GT is that came off the road in 1990. So yeah, I think we can safely say wire wheels on it. They recoverable, possibly. What else have we got? We've got a Polo. That doesn't look too bad. How long's that been here? 12 years that's been here. To be fair, could look worse. That's not too bad at all. Oh, we've got another 205. Hey, if you've got 205 Sceptre on your bingo card, this is the time to tick that box. This one's been here since 2014. So many of these cars came along in that era, but this one looks eminently saleable. It would be great to see a lot of these 205s back on the road, because it's one of those eras where they just dropped off, didn't they? And then MGB GT, that one came off road 1990, big holes inside the wing. Skip the trailer. Morris Minor. And you got a free Ford bumper on the inside. So this one's a Cat B. Who was going to put this back on the road? It's rotten as a rotten thing, isn't it? Oh, now this is good. This is good. Right, Metro GTA. Now these I know are properly sought after. One of the reasons being that I actually took one apart for a kit car project. But things like the interior and the spoilers and the body kit, people are going to, you know, I think someone's going to be after that. Yeah. Parts only, I imagine, with that one. It doesn't actually mention it. Yeah, it's been off the road obviously quite some time. So just jump back to Metro, that was actually off the road since 2003. Right, we're going to have to swoop down now. We're going to have to do a bit of a jump over to where they are in the barns and work our way around those numbers.
50, I've got 800, 850, I'm out, 850, I'm out. 900, 950. £1,000, I'm being done. £1,000, 1,050, 1,100, 1,150, 1,200, 1,250, 1,300. Can't see you, sir. 1,250, look at it, 1,300.
Right, we'll rattle down these because there's a few sort of loose ones on the outside. Isuzu Crew Cab pickup, bit of rust on the sills there, but you know, someone might make it go another day. Range Rover P38, I think this is the only P38 here. There's a classic around the back. Might go again, I'm guessing it's on air suspension because it's as flat as a fart. Rover Coupe. This one's been off the road since 1987. We can see the A-post has gone. But again, even if it's sort of beyond saving as a car, there's so much on it, the badges and the wheel covers and so on. So I think there's a lot to be done there. This MGB's got no reg to it, so again, that's really just a parts car. Right, well, we've got a couple of lots stuck out here in the field. I'm guessing they probably haven't been able to move. There's an XK8 body there, so it's been stripped of all its mechanicals. Looks a bit rotten from the bits I can see. That's been off road a very long time. And then below, the Jag in front of it's been off the road since 99. That's lot 145. Missing the bonnet. Looks like it's been ravaged for a few bits already. Quite a lot of rust around the edge, so let's crack on. Oh, we've got a few more here. Another Saab. Here we go in the Avenue of Dreams. So we've got a Jaguar, no sorry, the Saab first. So I think there's an issue with the roof. But Saab convertible, good thing if it's been kept under this roof, hopefully it's fairly dry. And again, like those ones outside, this does look in remarkably good condition, but only a time up on the ramp will tell. 924. Now, a few years ago, you couldn't hardly give these away, could you? But now, they're getting pretty sought after, and this one actually looks remarkably tidy. How long's that been here? Last taxed in 2006, so 20 years. And then we have got, we're looking for the Jag Mark 10. These are a big old beast, aren't they? But unfortunately, due to its age, last taxed in 1982, this one was. Yeah, Jason's having the back pedal to just get the thing in because it's huge. But the problem with these is, A, it's going to cost you a mint to restore it, and who's going to want it at the end? You know, you could do it as a passion project, but hey. And then we'll swoop round over this side. This one I know has generated an awful lot of interest, not because it's got JBB 5K as a plate, it's because it is an MGB GT Costello. Nothing to do with Elvis Costello. This was a pre-runner to the factory-built MGB V8. And MGB allegedly, I think, said they couldn't, it wasn't something that was feasible, so this guy built his own version. And after, I'm not sure how many he knocked out, MG suddenly decided they could do it and turned off his engine supply, allegedly. So this car here, this XJS, has caused more lines on Facebook than anything because it's got the registration number 3TV. It's not being sold as a car, it's being sold as a retention certificate. And I've spoken to the auctioneer and apparently it's all fine. It has got a marker on at DVLA, but this is because so many people have tried to get that number plate. So that's the reason that the DVLA are wanting to have more solid evidence before they allow that plate to be transferred. I will talk about the rules and regs regarding transferring plates in a minute. What do we got next? BMW 635 CSI. Now, a few years ago, these were pennies, weren't they? But now they are properly sought after. This one's got a nice leather interior. I'll quietly show the cameraman. But as you can also see, is left-hand drive. So, when was that one last on the road? Let's have a quick look. That one was last on the road in 1999. So, but again, if it's been under here and dry, it's probably not going to be too bad. What else have we got? 215, yeah, well, this is all in a bit of an odd order because there's a couple of scooters there which will just brush by and put the value on for you. But this MGB GT, this has been off the road since 1985. To be honest, I've seen worse that have been off the road for not as long, but I'll be interested to see what they go for. There's quite a lot of MGBs. They're a common classic anyway. Couple of little scooters here. They're not going to go for much money. And then we'll carry on and look back on the sales because there's a Cadillac Eldorado again, same as the one outside. You could buy the pair and make one good one out of the two. What's that? Probably about 7.2 litre engine, I would imagine. I don't know, what's it worth? I've got no idea. You do, because you can see it at the bottom of the screen because I've just put it on there. Right. Oh my God. Right, let's have a look in here then. Right, from the left. Hiya, you alright?
What cars are you buying?
I do like these Panther Callistas. So, you know I like my kit cars. I think this has probably got the Ford V6 engine. Yeah, it has. Nice car, that. Let's have a look what we got on that one. Last taxed in 2006 and last MOT 2010. And then what we got? Jaguar 420, yeah, like the Dame that we saw outside. Got that great straight six engine. That one off the road since 1986. And then XJ, hang on, I've lost my place. Hold tight, XJC, it is an XJC, yeah. We've got no plate with this one, so I assume that one's been transferred to another vehicle. The thing with the plate transfers on these, it's all to do with how long it's been in your name, how long it's been sawn, and if it's over 5 years, it needs an MOT, even if it's exempt because of historic. So I'll put the note from what DVLA say on the screen so you can understand what you need to do if you wanted to get plates off some of these cars, because some of these plates are obviously quite interesting. And then we've got a Mini coming up, which is an automatic little Mini City. Then we've got a Jag Mark II, have that Morse moment there. But however, I can see an issue. Yeah, someone's had the engine out of it. But handily enough, and this one's been off the road since 1983. So that was when it was last taxed. I think you've got the parts to put the engine in that one. Right, I'll tell you what I'm going to stand here and point because I don't think I'm going to get very far in here, but we'll have a go. Wolseley, where we got down to? I've lost the Wolseley. Wolseley 1500, yeah. Not on DVLA this one. I had a bit of a struggle to find this, so that one's not about. And then next to it there's an MGB GT. That's got an interesting MGB number plate. And then there's a couple of Land Rovers down in the corner. Hopefully Jason's getting his way in there somehow. Series 2A is the first one. And then I think just beyond it, I think there's a Morris Minor down in the corner somewhere that he's going to have a see if he can dig out to. Appreciate this is a live auction day, so it is going to be pretty busy. That Land Rover was off the road since 94, and the Morris Minor in the corner had been off since 1990. Got MGB GT here, which looks reasonably intact. Tyres as flat as a flat thing. You're going to bid on the Whitbread sign then? You were interested, weren't you? Then we got XJ6, the XJ40 shape. That one there, that's been off the road since 2007. And then, good luck. You go and dive down in the corner, Jason, and I'll sort of guess as we go. Right, there's a Volvo right down the end. So we've got, oh, there we go. Right, so there's a Volvo right down the end. That one's been off the road since 2001. And then we scroll back, we've got an Escort, which I can't find at the moment. I've got a funny feeling that is a Cat B, that Escort. And then, yeah, excellent. Sorry, yeah, I found it. That is X3. And then we move back again, and we've got the Triumph Herald, which is been off the road a very long time. And then we've got this Land Rover Series 2. Which has been off the road since 2000. And then we've got Morris Minor 1000. We've got a bit more space coming up now. So yeah, the Morris Minor 1000 here. And then remains of an MGB GT. Again, you've got to be very brave or very motivated to decide you want to restore that, haven't you? Then we've got the MGA. I think there's another MGA body somewhere. Doors off. I don't know if because it's dropped off or been taken off. So that's always a bit of a nervous look, isn't it? That one's been off the road since '86, but people still invest a lot of money in those. Older style. You say I'm never good on my old Mercs. Is that a 123 shape? I think it is. That's a 280 CE. You okay? No, you're okay. 280 CE. That's again been off road at least 20 years, and now we've got a few more for your Peugeot 205 bingo card. We've got a 1.6 GTI. Now, benchmark wise, I saw one of these at an auction last weekend, Dor and Reese one that we went to, and one there, I think about 130,000 the clock, made about 8 grand. So that's the sort of marker of what the finished car is worth. Can't find that one on DVLA, strangely enough. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. This one has been off the road since 2014. And that's obviously a CTI because the roof comes off. But as we know, in the old days, the roof used to come down, the price used to go up. With classics, it's generally the other way. People want the hardtop ones because they were the ones that all got wrecked. And then we've got a CTI, that's what I had. Again, I'm sure these were galvanised. I know I keep rattling on about it, but you know, the only thing I had is denim style interior and they used to fray for a hobby. What else have we got? Oh, I've lost me place. Give me a second. Have I accidentally flipped over? Hold on. No, I'm completely lost. Hang on. Oh, no, I've got it. Here we go. Here we go. Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There is another MGA here. It's this one, and it's more in its sort of component form. I would say this is probably more for spares. It doesn't appear to have any reg number, so yeah, you've got to be brave to take that one on. Right, that's that for this bit, and then we're going to go to the final barn, and hopefully that'll be our wrap-up. Right, we're on the final run now, down to the barn with the good stuff in. Got this 380 SL here. That's obviously, shall we say, a little bit tired. That's been here since 2006 by the look of it. Obviously the wings are gone. Looks like it might have had a bit of a front end prang, but that one's probably a parts car realistically. And then we got this, well, it's down as a Jag or a Sovereign, but I think it's more, I think it's the X300 Jag. I might be wrong. Is it an X300?
What's that?
The one you sat in? Oh, nor am I actually, so. And then there's this MGF, which is, you see, it's had a bit of a clonk down the back. But again, the problem with cars like this, you can buy a roadworthy one for 700-800 quid. So 283, that's a MGB GT or MGB Roadster, sorry. But again, might be restorable, who knows? SLK parts car, anyone in the corner? Yeah, I think that's, it's had the windscreen cut off, so that's probably its end of days. So in the corner here, that is just a complete, effectively rotter. It's got quite a nice plate on it, 12XHY, but let's be honest, you're going to need to get an MOT on that to get it on, get the plate off it, so I don't think that's happening anytime soon. Fiat Coupe Turbo, these are quite sought after now. Looks reasonably slow, it's got a bit of a clonk down there. Might be restorable, don't know. That one's been off the road since 2007, and just an interest, the one in the corner, the Merc, that's since 99, so that's why it's so rotten. And then we've got the XJ Coupe, this one, as you can see by the patina, 93, that was last on the road. I can't see it being on the road again if I'm honest, but hey ho. This XJ6, that looks fairly tidy, apart from obviously it's got that clonk down the front. That has been off since 2007. Big old beast, these Jaguar XJ, not the XJ, Jag 420s. Interesting, the plate's 420 as well on it. Have we got a date for this one? No, that's just been off the road for a long time. And this MGB GT, well, they've been going for more money than I think's logical, but hey, you'll see what that one's gone for. We'll go down the other end for this SL. There we go. Sorry, no, spin around, Jay, it's just behind you. There we go, that TR7 there. I've got these in a funny order. This TR7, again, it looks pretty rough around the edges. The arches have gone at the back. Last on the road 1997, so what's that, 28 years? So it's got to be some good parts on it, but is it going to go back on the road? Somebody might be brave enough, you never know. Bright pink MGB Roadster with a hard top, got a roll cage and bucket seats in it. That's been off the road, I think, we think at least it's 2006. And then this nice Dormobile Bedford. It's still got some of the camping bits inside, bit smelly vision. And then we've got this SL 500 here. Yeah, when's that just been on the road? Let's have a look. Oh, the Bedford was last on the road in 96. SL we haven't got a plate for, so I'm guessing the plate's been taken off that one. So if you loop round, Jay, this is apparently an ex-police Range Rover, which does make sense with the little brackets on the back there, and there's, I think, some extra holes in the front. And then we've got this XJS, the silver one. Was it silver? Yeah, well, it was silver. Again, it's got a bit more patina around it. XJSs are coming, but I'm not sure it's quite there yet for justify the restoration cost of that one. And this Bentley, it's got the round headlights on the front, a bit like the Turbo, but this apparently is a John Barclay Special. To be honest, never heard of it. If you know more about it, talk in the comments. And then XR 4x4, this is my kind of kiddie, right from my era. Don't see many of these now. We've got the V6 Cologne engine in it. Obviously needs a good clean up. As we know, Fords are liable to do a bit of rusting. So we'll head into the barn behind you there. What have we got next? So we'll start with the Doward van. Right, we come round to the depths of one of the barns. This is like the final one, so it's where really the better stuff is. This is a Jowett Bradford van, because Jowetts were in Bradford. This one dates from 1952 and was last on the road in 2000. This is a Humber 12, know nothing about them, so we'll move on. And then there is this is a XJC, so it's the Jaguar version, 4.2. When's that last on the road? No idea. It's no, tell a lie, 1989 that was last on the road. Then we've got a Morris Minor Traveller, which has got more rot than is healthy at the back there. So that was last on the road in 88. Yeah, that's your real original barn find with layers of dust and everything, but it's rotten as a rotten thing at the back there. Little A30 in the corner. Interesting thing with this, the number plate is now on something else. It's on a Bentley apparently, AOS 417. So that one has been stripped of that. But A30s are not big money, are they, I'm afraid. Now this one I know has got a lot of interest. It's Triumph 2000, was it 2,500? Estate, sorry, I've lost my spot, here we go, yeah. Well, Triumph, well, it stands a Triumph Stag Estate, but it's obviously Triumph, I think it's 2,000 or 2,500. You don't see many in the States, and these are popular as like classic rally barges. So there's that. Then we've got an MG Midget, which I guess is this one at 306. That one last on the road 89. Yeah, a little bit of I'm not going to touch it too much in case a bit drops off.
I've done a lot of miles in that car in the 80s.
What, this one, this very car?
Yeah.
So what, you thinking of buying it back or no? Just memories, is it? Or
It was memories, yeah.
yeah, but you're not the current owner though,
No, Marcus.
Yeah.
But he had this when we were at college.
Ah, okay.
I had a Spitfire Mark III, and he had this.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Great story, love those.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a round wheel arch, you see.
Yeah, so that's quite
unusual.
That's 72, 73, I think, isn't it? Something. Yeah, I think that kind of era. So
They were very designed.
yeah, yeah, lovely, great, really interesting to hear.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun in that.
Memories, you can't replace them. And then we've got up the top. You got to look up and see things. 2 E-type bonnets. It'll be interesting to see what they go for. And then this one, Morris Minor shell. So presumably there's nothing in the front. Got some Weller wheels on there, bit rare. And now this one, I know there's been a lot of talk about this car. Jensen Interceptor Mark II. It's come with a monster 7.2 litre Chrysler engine. Not sure what the plate is on this. I don't know how long it's been there, but you're going to sink an epic amount of money in to get that done. And then there's this Porsche 924, which doesn't seem in too bad a condition, neither headlight cover and so on. But interesting, it's the interior people have been talking about because it's that fancy Porsche pattern. So be interesting to see what that one's gone for. XK8. Wonder where you've gone. I think the XK8 is the one down the back there. That's been off the road since 2008. And then if you look upwards, we've got a Bentley Turbo. That's been off the road since 2007. I do like those round headlights on those. They might go for a few quid. It doesn't look too bad. At least you've got a chance to inspect it underneath, you see. So you've got to look at the advantages of that one. Oh. Then there's an MG midget down the back. We'll skip through these fairly quickly. Down the back, not sure when that's been off since. And then there's obviously this GT body shell, which doesn't look in bad condition actually. And then what else have we got? Mercedes 280. I reckon there'll be some interest in this over here. It's obviously the coupe style. The can of Coke is not original, but actually that doesn't look, I'm not giving these cars full inspection, but that does look pretty tidy. And then we've got the Jaguar XJS at the back. That's got a sort of private plate on it. I've seen other videos where people have looked in it. It does look quite tidy inside that one. And not sure when it's been off the road, but I think it's been at least 20 years because it hasn't had an MOT since 06. And then probably the only motorbike, Triumph motorbike. This has actually been off the road since 1979. So, I love the little parp horn. My local MOT station used to let me get through one of those. Now this car's had a lot of interest, this Golf GTI. This has been off the road since 2003, so 22 years, but does look pretty solid. The interior looks really good as well. Bit of wear on the bolster on the driver's side, but let's be honest, most of them have. And then behind us, we've got, where I can find it, this Mercedes estate, which allegedly has only got about 8 miles on the clock. So basically driven it home and that's it. So,
Flood damage.
what, the engine?
Yeah.
Still has or?
Don't know.
Ah, right. Does it turn over?
Not here it won't.
Ah, right, okay. Cheers. If you didn't catch that, apparently there's flood damage on that Mercedes. Right, we've got, here we go. Which ones have we got first? Ah, okay, that's that midget behind us. Interestingly, that's down with registration number 218CDL, but that plate is now on a 2002 Jag, so you'd need to find out what the original number was. Not quite sure what the bulge is going on about there, but it's obviously quite an early midget. It's obviously got sliding windows and the very basic seats on it. So if we look around, right, we're onto the Moo car. So we've got a bit of a supply of midgets here. Got the Moo car. Again, early one. It's got the sliding windows. This one's been off the road since 2008. Body-wise, bottom of the doors don't look that good. Yeah, you're going to sink a few pounds into it. And similar with this one, This one's actually been off the road since 2001, so where we're now, lot 325. You can tell the eras with the sort of chrome trims and stuff like that. I was just checking to see if it was a round wheel arch, but it's too early for that one. Then we got this Mercedes 450 SL T-plate, so what's that, 79? Overall looks pretty tidy. So it's an SLC because the roof doesn't come off. Thumping great 4.5 litre V8 engine, obviously needs a bumper and so on, but you know, not big things. Now this car is this 205 1.9 GTI. That's generated a lot of interest. It's got what looks like either a pattern or a new old stock wing on the side. Again, I've got this feeling that these were galvanised. And then we've got the Gogo-mobile. Yeah, I don't know much about it either, but apparently the engine in the front should be actually in the back of the car. And then Jensen Healy. It's got quite a nice plate, RAP10. This would last on the road in 87. Lotus engine, so you could have some challenges there. Bodywork wise, it doesn't look too great. What have we got now? Golf Cabriolet we've got there. Again, I know that one's generated a fair bit of interest. But as we know, the Golfs, particularly the Mark 1 Golfs, people want the ones with the roof still on and preferably a GTI. So it will probably do okay. It doesn't look, you know, looking under the bonnet, giving it a quick whiff round, it doesn't look bad at all. Interior wise, yeah, it's not too bad. And then behind us, we've got the Mercedes 500 SL. I believe this is, no, we haven't. We're going this way, sorry, I've got lost. And then we've got the 500 SL here. Obviously needs a new rear window, but looks fairly solid. Let's see what that's gone for. And then we've got the little midget down here. Obviously 4 midgets in this one barn. And that was last on the road in 84. And then into the final run, Lotus XL, interesting plate on that. It's got A1 XCL, so it looks like XL. Obviously, no rust problems on the bodywork because it's fiberglass. Be interested to know what the chassis is like underneath. And then TVI Chimera, the first thing you're going to need is a windscreen because that's cracked. It's got the 4 litre engine in it. Yeah, there's still a strong market for these, aren't they? So somebody's going to love it. And just down to our last 2 lots, sorry. Got this MG, which is registered in 1937, so I believe is the oldest car in the auction. But I think it's had some form of rebody at the back during its years. And then finally, yeah. And is that the regional body at the back?
No.
No, I didn't. I thought it had a bit.
They had planning an extension there. Front end is.
Yeah. I reckon it's the front end and the back looked a bit different. Yeah. And then the final one, this 350 SL, very nice Merc. I like these Banzer wagons. This one off the road at least 20 years. Doesn't look too bad, does it? Well, that concludes our wander around of all the cars. So we're going to see if we can catch up with Finley after he finished the auction and see how he sort of found it all went on. Well, here we are, the other end of 339 lots. It's been a gorgeous day here. The sun's been out, the crowd has been absolutely, crowd, I hope you probably prefer to call them bidders, I'm sure, Finley. And I think everyone's had a great day. 100% sale, which is unusual because nothing had a reserve. But Finley, how did it go for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been very sort of eye-opening, and you'll probably see from the video when I started walking down with the bell that it was like I didn't realise there was this many people here. But no, I mean, to me, it's been a great day in my eyes. I think it's gone as smooth as things can go when there's a lot of moving parts. So I'm fairly happy. Obviously the main thing for us is that our vendors are happy. So we'll soon find that out this evening. But I think it was a very good day, a successful day. I think some good prices, some a bit. I thought it would have done a bit more, but it's one of those that you take what you get and hope for the best. So I mean, I'm happy in general anyway.
And I think the other thing is sort of two things, and maybe it was from the vendor, the no reserve side of it, to make sure everything went. But also the noise we spoke about earlier that was on social media about no online catalogues and online bidding. So I think the prices generally I found were quite strong. There were cars that by now you've obviously watched the auction, you've seen what things have gone for. It'd be interesting to see your comments of what you feel, were they good, bad, indifferent. But particularly things like the MGB GTs, the ones outside, I thought were just, they were really strong for some very rotten cars, to be fair.
Yes. I mean, it's the thing is trying to find that even balance, because it's very true that one man's trash is another man's treasure. I mean, and at the end of the day, if that wasn't a thing, we probably wouldn't be stood here and doing this today. You know what I mean?
No, fair point.
But I mean, it's one of those that I find, where me and you see, oh, that's rusted, that's that. You've got the sort of the good old days, the remembering how things, remembering yesteryear, so to speak. And the other thing is you have, my dad had one, same colour, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, you never know when it comes to sort of memories and all the rest of it and nostalgia, you never know how far someone's willing to take it. You know what I mean? So you really never know. But I mean, I think it was fairly good. I think, maybe certain prices could have been better with online. I mean, it was pretty impossible to do online here without having to spend an absolute bomb doing it. And it's one of those things, we like it in person, we like it old school. Yeah. Find it works. I'd say evidently on some prices it did work. So
that's what I was going to say. I wouldn't knock the fact that you think maybe some would have been stronger with online. I think the fact that people here able to put the hand up, buy it straight away, and they're able to see it, I think worked wonders, actually. I was quite surprised by some of the prices.
Because the thing is, if the people that were bidding online had followed the people on Facebook and things like that saying, oh, it's a load of scrap, they wouldn't have bid online, because they'd have gone, well, I don't know what I'm buying, I can't get over there. Whereas, obviously a large majority's come in, viewed it, seen what it is, they've gone right round it themselves, they made their own mind up. There's no like, oh, they got me on that, I didn't realise that was wrong. They've had plenty of time to look around it, and they know exactly what they're buying with hopefully no hiccups, So I think for the most part it's how we like to roll it anyway.
Brilliant. No, it's been a great day, and I think everyone that's been in has enjoyed it. FM Hutchings, what have you got coming up next, or regularly you got a chance for a bit of a plug now?
So, I mean, we have our regular sales every Monday. We haven't got one on Monday because I figured my staff need a break and we're going to be busy here. So, but no, every other Monday, rain or shine, bank holidays or not, we have one, and we have, anything and everything, cars, machinery, tools, antiques, a whole lot, all sold in one night, anywhere from 800, 1,200 lots. So all that goes in one day. We have got a few potential, collective sales and machinery sales and dispersal sales lined up. Potentially more with the current vendor of this place at other sites. I know he has.
Okay.
There's a lot in the pool, so to speak. And I know we're looking at going into a partnership with another auction down just sort of north, sort of in the Bristol area, that do a lot of cars and classics and things like that, and I know they're looking for a partnership, so to speak. So, who knows? Watch this space, I'm afraid. I can't tell you much more than that for now.
No, that's fair enough. Well, Finley, thank you for your time. I know it's been a really busy day. Really appreciate
Not a problem
it.
at
So
all.
thank you so much for that.
Thank you very much.
Really hope you've enjoyed watching it. And if you have, you know what I'm going to ask. Give that subscribe button a tickle for us, and we'll see you next time.